Alright, hello. Very epic Sonic Skip tutorial. So, what is Sonic Skip? Sonic Skip is a box telethrow setup to essentially go really far and really high that way, while clearing a wall to go over to the goal ring, which is directly that way. The way we do this is by taking this box, and we position it on this pillar. Hit it up against the bottom, so it kind of flattens out. Like that. And then we put it on the front edge of this pillar. And it'll tilt just enough so that we can stand on it and telethrow our way to victory. This is essentially just what the trick looks like in full time. You need to turn, and then the goal ring is directly over by that big castle. If you have enough height, where if you basically reach these trees, you can actually pass over the wall and then telethrow downward in order to maybe spare you some distance if you miss the ETD. If you don't get that height, just ETD before you hit the wall. And from there, you just go down there and do the combat. That's essentially like just the trick in a nutshell, but I'm going to be going more into detail here. So the first thing I see a lot of people mess up on is they walk too far into this room and they actually aggro the enemies, exactly like that. They aggro the enemies so that when they're setting up the box, the enemies fire missiles at you and it messes up your box. To counteract this, you basically don't want to step past this little archway. So if you just grab the box like this, you never actually alert any of them except for the big golem, which it's very hard for him to mess up your box. So I'll show that again in real time. You just don't pass the archway, you just grab the box and you dip. And that doesn't alert any of them except for the big guy. See, all of them are walking around, they're like, huh? So that's the first step. Second step is you need the box to be basically facing straight forward. Like this, if I tried this angle, it's going to be too far that way. It's not going to work. So the way we do that is we center it with this line, with about this line. And we basically slam it against the bottom of the pillar. And that will straighten it out. So now the box is straightened, and we need to put it on the pillar. Now, if the box is like this, if it's tilted to one side, it can also tilt to the left. Why are you guys here? It can also tilt to the left. Which means, if it does this, that means you're not far forward enough on the pillar. So, because this pillar's collision is a little misleading, so I've pulled up a level loader to show you what the actual collision looks like. So this is what it is. You need the box to be essentially on this part of the pillar right here where I'm moving my mouse in order to get it to properly tilt. You don't want it to be on the center because that means it's going to tilt either left or right. What you're essentially trying to do is you're trying to go over there and you're trying to pass over this wall. Be wary. There are actually kill planes, but they're the same height as the wall, so as long as you properly pass over the wall, you shouldn't have any problems with them. And the kill plane on this side is actually pretty low. Like, this looks high, but it's low compared to where you're telethrowing. It's basically the same height as this wall. So as long as you have that same amount of height, you should be good. So here, I'm going to demonstrate it again. So don't run too far in. Grab the box. Place it down about here. You can place it down directly on the pillar if you get a good lineup, but that's pretty risky, so a lot of people don't go for that. The lineup's a bit off, so I'm going to slam it up against the bottom. That looks good. Now I'm going to place it a little far forward. See how the box is resting diagonally down, so it's more on the forward part of the pillar than it is in the middle. And then from here, we just throw our way to victory. The lineup that I use to turn, the little indicator I have, is... Oh, shit. Oops. Was a little too far to the right there. So I'll just show that again. This looks good, but I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be safe, because I'm a coward. Alright, there we go. Put it down there. Not far forward enough. It's leaning. There we go. Now, you do need to throw kind of quickly in order for this to work. So the lineup that I use is the little, like, outcropping with the tree on top of it that is, like, directly right of the continue button. It's, like, right here. This is about what I use. As soon as I'm past this, I begin the turn. I was a little too low there, so the box got fucked, but yeah, this is essentially it. If your box get owns like that, you were either too low, so you needed to throw more often, or you were just staying too far to the right, so you accidentally hit the invisible wall on your way there. So I'm going to demo it one more time. Alright, slam it up against the bottom of the pillar, let it rest on the front, and we begin our ascent. So as soon as I get past the tree, I'm going to turn. And from here, the turn is basically all about keeping as much height as possible. Like I said earlier, the trees right behind the pause menu are typically what I use to see if I'm going to go over the second wall, because there is a second wall. It's right over here. If you don't get over this wall, you have to jump off of the box and ETD before you hit it. You can ETD through it because the collision's one-sided, but the box is gonna get, like, you're gonna get thrown off of the box when you hit this wall. So, to prevent that, you either go up to those trees, which I demonstrated earlier, or you just do this and hope you hit the ETD. If you don't hit the ETD from here, it's actually kind of cringe. You lose about 10 to 15 seconds if you don't hit it from here. But if you telethrow downward, you should only lose 5 to 10. From there, you just do the combat. The combat is a little complicated. So there are two main ways to do it. There's one, if you hit the ETD and you actually get over to the robots before they detect you, which I will demonstrate after. But if you get there a little slow, you basically just want to sit in the middle and pick up projectiles as they shoot them at you. And you want to target the ones on top of these fireboxes, because the fireboxes will essentially give you a free hit of damage. So now it's just waiting for these guys to fire at me. This guy don't know what he's doing. What is Blood doing? And from there, you just kind of kill them. And the goal ring spawns right there once all of them are dead. So I'm going to try to show what happens whenever you get there before they notice you. So I'm going to line it up. This angle was a bit weird, so I'm going to have to kind of violently slam it up against the pillar. There we go. Put it in the front. Oh, not forward enough. Oh, actually, I was too far forward. Oops. If that happens, you can just quickly realign it again. Really, the only thing that can permanently, like, remove your ability to do this trick is the box, like, despawns. Like, you throw it away and it becomes unreachable. So this turn looks pretty good. I think I might be able to get the height. Yeah. So if I get to about these trees, I'm going to start throwing downward. Awesome, I hit the ETD. Okay. So I should get there before they notice my existence. You want to stun this blue guy and throw it at the very, very left gold bot. That will break all of the fireboxes, and from there you pick up the missiles that the remainders were firing at you. Oops, I miscounted a little bit, but that's okay. And from there, you just finish them off. So yeah, that's Sonic Skip. If you have any questions, let me know. Ping me on Discord. But yeah, I think this is a pretty foolproof guide. So yeah, happy telethrowing.